Hey guys, it's Josh from Cardfight Empire here today. Back again with our ARG States Championship coverage series, where I am joined today by the North California ARG States champion, and I'll let himself introduce himself a bit further.
Hi guys, I'm Henry Doe. Um, I played Gear Chronicles in my states, and some of the past accomplishments that I've done was in 2015 I was the finalist for ARG Nationals. In 2016 I was the championship for ARG Nationals that year, and I was top eight at ARG Invitationals. I won both the December and January winter uh, state ARG tournaments as well.
Awesome, awesome. Well, that sounds like a lot more accomplishments to me. So congratulations there. You said you played Gear Chronicle. Why did you decide to play Gear Chronicle in the ARG?
I decided to play Gear Chronicles because it was the best deck to play, and I knew going into North California, majority of players are Aquaforce players, and that is pretty much an easy win with Gear Chronicles.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I definitely agree there about the easy win. Did you want to go through your deck list or possibly explain like any interesting texts that you had?
Um, sure. It's pretty basic. I ran both Chrono Jets. I played three Erwatars instead of four just because I wanted the extra crit in the deck. So it goes with four heals, four stands, six crit, and two draws. And the other stand I was playing was Gear Cat Vainglory, who in either the mirror match or against matches where there are multiple attacks, he comes in really handy because you activate him on your opponent's turn by using a header around.
Okay. Well, definitely like I saw you had like a lot of one-ofs of your grade ones. Did you want to talk about like your one-ofs for your grade one choices?
Oh, the great one, like everything is searchable through Time Leap. So whenever, or even with Upstream, you can search out for your takeaway, your any of your snipers, Steam Scar to get a plus. Um, Steam made Meshkia. She's there because if your opponent ends up triggering on the first Melum attack, you can't really go back into Melum and hope for like another draw, obviously, and like reshuffling. You just need to gain that extra 4K boost to get a hit.
Hmm. And then you still get that extra card back that you would have gotten from the or water play, right?
Yeah, exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Did you how much work did you? Because I see that you played one GG and one Lishima. So Tikwe and Meshkia like kinda I see more than GG and Lishma. So do you want to talk about like those two and like how much work did they put in for you during the tournament?
Um, with Gigi, I just really like the fact that she can be searchable with upstream, and like she gets rid of the soul, where you can reuse your cards again with TikTok, your crit triggers, and then like if you needed extra pluses, you can call Gigi from your hand, Soul Blast 2, draw a card, and then time leap the Gigi, and then get it back at the end of turn and reactivate her skill and get an extra card in your hand. The Lishma came in really clutch for me. Like it was the one up that won me finals of my states. It was against a Saint Guard. I couldn't stride, but I had Lishma. And after Chrono Jet attacks, I just time leaped it into Delayed Blazer shenanigans, time leap my History Maker into a Chrono Jet, get the extra two attacks in.
Okay, so the extra two attacks allowed you to like win the game.
Yep, pretty much.
All right, so you ran two delayed blazers, so you just talked about that. Calibum is obviously for the early game, I assume, to get rid of your bonus
Yes.
starters.
Yes.
And you actually ran, so ever since Chronojet G came out, I've been seeing people run like 4-3, like 4 Chronojet G, like 3 original, or like 4, even 4-2-1 of
hmm
Chronojet G, the original Chronojet, and then Square One Dragon. Do you want to
hmm
talk about why you still ran like 4 original Chronojet, or like why you like that more?
For me, I really like the fact that I can control my opponent's board because when I play Vanguard, I play. Let's see here. Most decks that run four Chrono Jet. Dragon G, they're looking to get that early push in, the really hyper aggressive plays. I personally prefer like maybe 80% of that aggression along with my control, so my opponent won't be able to make plays on their turn when it goes back to them.
Okay. Sounds like pretty reasonable and smart reason to do that. You ran 4 next stage. Did you do that for Link Joker specifically, or did you have something in mind, or you just like running 4 next stage?
For next stage, it's just pretty standard, I would say. I know like people would run Gear Groovy. I find Gear Groovy just takes up too much deck space.
Okay. And then you ran Revolution and Chronos Command Dragon. So did you usually go into Metallica Phoenix and flip Chronos Command, I assume?
Generally, yeah. But if I remember majority of that day, I always first turned into Warp Drive Dragon.
Hmm. Okay. Why did you do that?
Um, because my opponents, because most of the Silicon Valley's Aquaforce players, they'll always have an extra card on the board. I just want to get rid of it so they can have less attacks for the next turn. And like I went into Warp Drive because I can't go into Metallica Phoenix if I don't have either Mellum, History Maker, and TikTok on board. So if I don't have the Mellum, I can't make a play. So I have to go into Warp Drive and Time Leap a grade 0 from my hand, and then get the Mellum. You can't do that with Phoenix, even if you're on Chrono Jet G. So,
Right.
yep.
And so I guess that like ties back in to your whole like I'd rather the 80% aggression and more control. So it seems like your like play style is just more control rather than aggression. So um, like instead of other players using like their full aggression to play gears, you rather just sit back and play a well-controlled game that you know you can control the board until you can like take the win.
Exactly.
Okay. That sounds pretty smart and pretty knowledgeable, and I can obviously see how you've won top events or past events doing this same thing. Did you want to talk about your day at ARG and like what you ran against and your top rounds all the way up to finals?
Sure, sure. At the store that I was happening at, there was about maybe like 20 or 30 people, if I recall. We had 5 rounds and then cut to top 8. And during my Swiss rounds, I ended up playing round 1 was Aquaforce, which was a Thavis slash Tetra Boil build. Round 2 was a Gurgiet. Round 3 was a mirror match. Round 4, another Tetra Boil and Thavis deck. And then round 5, I played against Sanctuary Guard. Top 8, I ended up playing against back-to-back 2 Aquaforce players, and then the same card player that I played in finals for Swiss. So yeah, that was about 8 matches for the day.
Okay. Did you have like any particular matchup that you struggled against or that you just breezed past, or did all of your matches just go kind of swell?
All the Aquaforce matches were pretty set in stone once I went into my Melon play, and at the end of my Melon plays, I would end up with Gear Cat, and I always had the heal trigger to make my Chrono Jet 21, so he can't smack me for like small numbers at that point. The mirror match I had was a little difficult because it took really long. We were both like fighting for hand advantage, and I remember during that day, like one of the games, I ended up drawing 5 Chrono Jets before I even got to Stride. I was just like, this isn't good. So I lost that. I lost that game. Came back on the next one, and then time was called in, and it was a draw. So that sort of sucked. Yeah.
Okay, so the match was a draw.
Yeah. And then Sanctuary Guard, that is actually a really tough matchup. So yeah. If they get their early aggression to you, they can translate into mid-game into Regale and do a lot of shenanigans. But the player that I played against, I don't know if he forgot or just wasn't paying attention, but he forgot to attack with 1 column before he did Knight of Twin Sword play. I was just like, you forgot to attack with the other column. You could have gotten 1 card out of my hand with that extra attack.
Right. And like 1 card matters a lot in like a hyper aggression deck. Because it could be the difference between a kill and, not a kill. So,
yeah.
But yeah, definitely sounds like a swell tournament. Did you enjoy the ARG like as compared to like a Bushiroad event, or do you like Bushiroad events
Oh, no
more?
lie. Yeah, I do not. Like for the past couple years, I played in Bushiroad tournaments. It was a best of one. I
Mm,
was just like, if you lose two matches, you're out of the tournament. There's like no coming back. You're out permanently. It's just like not fun for anyone who loses after two rounds because they went to all the effort to come to the Bushiroad tournament and just end up losing. And then now that you can only do free play, but free play is just free play. You want to be able to compete.
right.
Yeah, and then uh, yeah, that's about it. I enjoy ARG more just because it's a best 2 out of 3 matchup. It's like, yeah, you're gonna get sacked one game or another, or you're gonna be the one doing sacking. You'd like to be able to play another game to get like a redemption match.
Yeah, definitely sounds fair. A lot of people like the 2 out of 3 of ARG, but not only the 2 out of 3, but like the time rulings are a lot better than like rather than having a double loss
Oh
when you go
yeah,
into
yeah,
time.
yeah,
That's one of my biggest things about ARG is that I like that I can just go into time rather than like telling my opponent in the last 5 minutes like hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up because I don't want to get double
yeah.
lost. Like, um, but yeah, definitely it sounds like you have a pretty good deck list here. Did you want to explain why you called your deck list Last Chronojet, or was there a reason for that?
Um, the reason for that was like I played in invitationals about a couple weeks before, and I literally went 5 matches of mirror matches against Gear Chronicles. I was like, I'm probably gonna have so much experience in the mirror match. I'm probably gonna win majority of the mirror matches if there were any mirror matches. So I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna name this Last Chronojet because Last was also a clan name I used to be part of,
Okay.
and I mean we're all still friends and all, but we just put our tags as Last.
Okay, so literally you just like wanted to be the last Chronojet standing.
Yep.
Okay, that's like pretty awesome. Ideal for that. And then also, like, were you looking to go to any future ARGs, like maybe Philadelphia, that you have your invite and buy to, or what are those looking at?
Yeah, I always attend the ones in Philadelphia. I attend majority of the Nationals and Invitational, so you will see me at Philadelphia. I'll play in majority of the states in North California. There's another ARG Silver Circuit Series happening in March. I'll be attending that. I'll attend the Bushiroad tournament happening in July in California. I'll probably also participate in the one in Richmond, Canada, as well.
Okay, awesome. Like, how much of a trip is it for you to Richmond, Canada?
Mm, I'd probably say like maybe a couple $100. I have relatives that live up in Canada, so I'll be staying with them.
Ah, okay. So always good to have like free room and board when you're going on a trip because like hotels are just like crazy unless you have like a discount. But I find that like most card players have like either when they go on a trip, they either have like family or friends that they can stay with, or they have like family or friends that can get them a hotel discount. So it's just like you almost never have like a card player that just will travel just to travel and like spend the max amount of money. But there are some that are like dedicated enough to the cause to do that.
Oh yeah, that was one of them. I was definitely one of
That is
those.
definitely what it is.
Yeah, I was first year of ARG. They did nationals. I attended. I literally went by myself and paid for a full hotel and board and car rental and everything. It was just myself.
Mm. Okay. Did you enjoy that?
Oh yeah, I enjoy it. I wanted to play in a more high competitive tournament, and it was really competitive. Like every round, each player was really good. That's why I enjoy it.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
when you know you're going in, these players are also as good as you, or maybe even better.
Right. And that's like it gives you like a bit of if you're anything like me, it gives you like a bit of a rush to like fight better players or give you more experience in their matchups or get some of the knowledge that they know.
hmm You also know like when you're going in, you'll be playing against a lot of the meta, and you know what the meta is, so you can play around the meta, and you know what you're playing against.
Yeah, you can
Like
just kind
when
of like
I
fight what you know and tech for things that you know that you're gonna see.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Okay. And I guess like the final question would be, how do you see Gear Chronicle faring after the ban list, and what do you plan on doing, or like what do you look forward to in future sets?
I honestly don't think anything's gonna change. I think Yoga Chronicle's gonna be number one until they can make like another clan more even broken or stupid. Seriously, I was just like, the only thing they changed was like Airwater to one. You can't use TikTok as a starter. Majority of players I already knew like were playing Chronogen for some reason when TikTok was still allowed as your starter. I didn't understand that. I'll be like, okay, so now you just play Chronogen. Everybody plays Chronogen now.
Right.
And then you just play crits. Nothing's changed. Your first turn, you still have Airwater. You're just like, oh, I go to Mellum, Airwater, History Maker, back into Mellum, another Airwater. All same thing.
Okay, I totally agree. Is there anything like maybe not the best, but that you're still looking forward to in the future sets like BT10 or like maybe the Tri 3 booster or the Trinity Dragon booster set?
For me, I foresee like I think Luard's gonna be up there. Like Luard in itself, he's really good. They just need better rearguard supports. There's only like one or two staples in that deck right now. If they get better support, they can push it up. And I think Asha will be a contender just because they didn't hit the stand trigger. With Inverno coming out, the whole entire loop with the stand trigger, I was just like, that's a little ridiculous. This shouldn't be allowed. It's gonna happen. It's like playing a Wiseman again. You're just like, but Wiseman takes time to set up. You just need the one turn with Inverno to make it go off.
Yeah, it was funny because like Neo Nectar is actually one of my main clans, along with Gears and then like Novas, which I have on the side. So it's like for Neo Nectar, like I don't know if how much did you know about there was like a Maiden deck, a Maiden of deck that had like an infinite loop, back when we had like Refros. It was like back in that.
Yeah.
So it was like before we got G guards, you had like Maiden of Lost Memory, the grade 2 that like if it hits, you counterblast 2 and draw for every Maiden of Lost Memory you have on the board. So you would have like 3 Lost Memories, or you would have like 2 Lost Memories in the front and a Maiden of Flower Screen behind your Vanguard. You make the Maiden of Flower Screen the same name, and then you would have a what is that card called? The grade 1. It's like a grade 1 6K that prevents your opponent from guarding from their hand as long as you counterblast 1, but in exchange they don't take a damage for being hit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you would play that behind the Maiden of Lost Memory, and then you would like always hit your opponent because since there was no G guards, there was just no way for them to guard it. So you would just be like, hit, no damage, draw 3, hit, no damage, draw 3, and then you like attack with your Vanguard, and then they would be like, Sometimes you'd even attack their rear guard with your Vanguard just because you didn't want to give them damage, and that was like the whole point of that deck, to not give them damage until you could get like your deck really, really low, and then hit like 5 infinite attacks, because your Vanguard column and the rear guard columns would be infinite with guaranteed stand triggers in your deck because of Lisbeth, which is why Lisbeth originally got put to 1 in Japan, because they were doing that. But there's even like more ridiculous combos out now with like Bloom, like you said, the Inverno loop with the stand trigger, and then there's also the Ronnie and the Marjuka loops as well. So I definitely feel like Neo Nectar will be a strong contender, like you mentioned. Also, how do you feel about Conroe coming back? Do you feel like that will affect Kagero's standings?
No.
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 Not strong
whatsoever.
enough.
He's not good enough in the current meta. But if they continue support and bring out like something ridiculous for them, then Conroe will be. It's not. It's like it doesn't hurt now. It might hurt later.
Okay. I can completely agree with that. I just think that Conroe's like not fast enough, I guess I would say, to keep up. I mean, they can still grab a few key cards like Belog or Protect Orbs or the new Conroe, but ultimately that's not going to help them that much, more than like maybe Sadig or something else would have, in my opinion. But yeah, definitely thank you for your opinions on that, and we can like start the wrap up of this interview, and definitely thank you for joining us today. We enjoyed having you.
Oh, thanks.
And
I enjoyed being on this channel.
and did you have any shout outs or anything that you wanted to give?
I wanted to give a shout out to Mason Clark and Sam On from Science of Vanguard. They literally like tweaked my gear deck because they had their own version, and with Delayed Blazer and Gearcat, and with literally Steam Sniper Lishma, that pretty much like won most of the mirror matches because in the mirror match you always want to be able to time leap more than your opponent.
Okay. Definitely. Science of Vanguard is a great channel. Um, I've interacted with Mason Clark on a couple of occasions, not in person, but like over the Vanguard group. So definitely they're great people and great guys. But thank you again for having you on the channel today. As for the rest of you guys, make sure you check out the ARG Circuit series. I will have the link posted down below. Check out Wasteland Gaming in the description below, and check out Win Condition Gaming. And with that, this has been Cardfight Empire, and we're out. Bye.